Jack Hartwell stood at the window of his cabin, watching the sunrise over the mountains. This might be the last Earth sunrise he would see for a long time. His phone buzzed. The aliens would arrive today. 3 months ago, a ship from the stars had settled into orbit around Earth. The ship belonged to a race called the Tellurians. They came in peace, they said. They wanted to invite humans to join something called the Galactic Council. Every spacefaring race had a seat there. Jack had been shocked when the government called him. At 52, he had retired from the Navy SEALs years ago and had been working quietly as a diplomat. Nothing in his training had prepared him for this. "You're our best choice, Commander Hartwell," the president had said. "You know how to stay calm in strange situations. You know how to talk to people who are different from you. And you know how to survive." That last part had seemed odd to Jack. Why would he need survival skills as an ambassador? But the alien messages had mentioned something about Earth being classified as a Deathworld, whatever that meant. A glint of light in the sky caught Jack's eye. A small silver craft was descending toward the landing pad outside his cabin. The hair on his arms stood up. This was it. Jack grabbed his ready bag, packed with just the essentials the aliens had said he could bring. He took one last look around the cabin, then stepped outside to meet humanity's first alien visitor. The craft landed silently. A door slid open, and a tall figure stepped out. Ambassador Zixnor of the Tellurians looked mostly human-shaped, but with light blue skin, 4 arms, and large eyes that didn't blink. He wore what looked like a thin spacesuit. "Commander Hartwell," the alien said in perfect English. "It is an honor to meet Earth's chosen representative." Jack stepped forward and bowed slightly, as he'd been instructed. "The honor is mine, Ambassador. Welcome to Earth." Zixnor looked around nervously. "I appreciate your hospitality, but I must admit I am uncomfortable being on your planet's surface. My environment suit is the only thing keeping me alive here." Jack raised an eyebrow. "Is our air toxic to you?" "The air, the gravity, the background radiation, the microbes, the predators." Zixnor counted off on his many fingers. "Your world is classified as a Class 12 death world, Commander. The fact that your species evolved here is remarkable." Jack tried not to laugh. His mountain cabin was hardly dangerous. "I've lived here all my life. It seems pretty normal to me." "That is precisely why you were chosen," Zixnor said. "The Council needs to understand how humans think, how you've managed to build a civilization on such a hostile world. Many species doubt it's even possible." Jack thought about the wars, diseases, and disasters humans had survived throughout history. Maybe Earth was tougher than he realized. "The Council transport awaits us in orbit," Zixnor continued. "We should leave soon. The Council session begins in 3 of your weeks, and the journey will take most of that time." "I'm ready," Jack said, patting his bag. "Though I admit I'm not sure what to expect." Zixnor's 4 arms made a complex gesture that Jack couldn't interpret. "Expect to be treated with caution, Commander. Many species will fear you simply for where you were born. Others will be fascinated by you. Use that to your advantage." As they boarded the small craft, Jack asked, "What exactly makes Earth so dangerous to other species?" "Everything," Zixnor said simply as the door closed behind them. "Your oceans would dissolve my skin. Your gravity would crush most Council members. Your temperature variations would kill many species in hours. The microbes in your body right now would cause plagues on most worlds." The craft lifted off, and Jack watched his world fall away beneath them. He had trained his whole life to face dangers and overcome them. Now it seemed that just being human made him dangerous. As Earth shrank to a blue marble below, Jack wondered what other surprises awaited him among the stars. He was about to become the first human to tell Earth's story to the galaxy. And apparently, it was going to be quite a shocking tale. The journey to Proxima Centauri took 18 days in the Tellurian ship. Jack spent most of that time learning about the Galactic Council from Zixnor. He learned about the 100 different alien species, their strange customs, and their even stranger biology. By the time the ship slowed down, Jack's head was spinning with new information. "We are approaching Proxima Station," Sixnor announced. "Please look." Jack floated to the viewport. His jaw dropped. The station was enormous. A massive wheel spinning slowly in space, with spokes connecting to a central hub. Hundreds of ships of different shapes and sizes moved around it like busy insects. "It's incredible," Jack said. "How many beings live there?" "About 2 million from across the galaxy," Sixnor said. "The station rotates to create artificial gravity in the outer ring. Different sections have different gravity levels for different species. Their ship docked at the central hub, where there was no gravity." Jack followed Sixnor through a series of airlocks. The alien handed him a small device. "This translator will help you understand any species," Sixnor explained. "Keep it with you at all times." Jack nodded and placed it in his ear. They entered a large room where several aliens waited. Jack tried not to stare, but it was difficult. One looked like a giant praying mantis. Another resembled a jellyfish floating in a water-filled suit. A third was just a cloud of green mist inside a clear container. The aliens kept their distance from Jack. Some even moved back when he entered the room. A small purple alien with 6 eyes stepped forward cautiously. "I am Eliva of Proxima B. I have been assigned as your liaison during your stay." Her voice was soft and musical through the translator. Jack smiled and extended his hand. "Nice to meet you, Eliva." Eliva flinched and didn't take his hand. "I apologize, Ambassador Hartwell. Physical contact with your kind is not advised." Jack slowly lowered his hand, feeling awkward. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to frighten you." "It is not your fault," Eliva said. "You come from a Class 12 Deathworld. Your body is dangerous to most of us. The microbes on your skin alone could make me very ill." Jack frowned. "I was decontaminated before leaving Earth." "Even so," Sixnor cut in, "caution is warranted. You are stronger than most species here, more resistant to radiation, toxins, and disease. What is harmless to you could kill others." Jack nodded slowly. "I'll be careful." Eliva led them to a transport tube. "You have been assigned quarters in Sector 47. It's the reinforced section." "Reinforced?" Jack asked. "For dangerous species," Eliva said quietly. Jack felt a twinge of anger, but kept his face neutral. "I'm not dangerous, Eliva. I'm just human." The transport tube shot them through the station. When they arrived at Sector 47, Jack immediately noticed the difference. The walls were thicker. The doors were heavier. It reminded him of a high-security prison. "These are your quarters," Eliva said, stopping at a door. "They are designed to human specifications based on the data Sixnor collected." Inside, the room looked almost like an Earth apartment, though the proportions were slightly off. The gravity felt close to Earth normal. "The council session begins tomorrow," Eliva said. "I will come for you at station morning. Please, rest and prepare yourself." After they left, Jack sat on the bed and looked out the small window at the stars. He was humanity's ambassador, yet he was being treated like a dangerous animal. His quarters were in the equivalent of a zoo for deadly creatures. Jack sighed. If the Galactic Council feared humans simply for surviving on Earth, how would they react when they learned about human history? About wars, exploration, and the countless dangers humans had not just survived but conquered. Tomorrow, he would face the Council, and he would show them that being a Deathworlder wasn't something to fear, it was something to respect. Morning came quickly on the station. Jack put on his formal uniform, dark blue with gold trim, the colors chosen to represent Earth. Eliva arrived exactly on time. "Are you prepared, Ambassador Hartwell?" she asked, staying near the door. "As ready as I'll ever be," Jack replied. He had practiced his speech all night. It was supposed to be a simple introduction of Earth to the Galactic Council. Eliva led him through the station to a massive chamber. The council room was shaped like a bowl, with hundreds of platforms arranged in circles. Each platform held a seat designed for a different alien body type. Most representatives will attend virtually, Eliva explained. Your reputation has preceded you. Jack looked around. The huge room was nearly empty. Only about 20 aliens were physically present, sitting far from the central speaking platform. They're afraid of me, Jack said flatly. Yes, Eliva admitted, but they will all be watching. This is your chance to show them that humans are not just deadly monsters. Jack nodded and stepped onto the speaking platform. As he did, hundreds of screens lit up around the room. On each screen was a different alien face, watching him from the safety of their ships or offices. Greetings to the Galactic Council, Jack began. I am Commander Jack Hartwell of Earth. I bring peaceful greetings from humanity. A large alien with tentacles for a face spoke from one of the physical seats. Welcome, Ambassador. I am High Counselor Vex Troll. Please tell us about your world. Jack smiled. Earth is a beautiful planet with diverse environments. We have oceans that cover most of our surface, mountains that reach toward the sky, forests filled with countless species, and deserts of sand and rock. He noticed several aliens shifting uncomfortably. Perhaps you could explain how humans survive in these environments, Vex Troll suggested. Jack nodded. Of course, humans are adaptable. We live in nearly every environment on our planet. I personally have swum in our oceans, climbed our highest mountains, hiked through our forests, and crossed our deserts. A murmur ran through the chamber. One of the screens blinked out as an alien disconnected. You swim in your oceans, the jellyfish-like alien asked. With the predators. Yes, Jack said. Our oceans have sharks, whales, and thousands of other creatures. Swimming is a popular activity. More screens went dark. The aliens physically present moved even further back. Jack continued, not understanding their reaction. Many humans enjoy outdoor activities. We go camping in forests where bears and wolves live. We climb mountains despite the thin air and freezing temperatures. We run long distances for fun, sometimes in extreme heat. The council chamber was in chaos now. Some aliens were frantically talking to each other. Others had simply left. Eliva was making urgent cutting motions with her hands. Jack stopped, confused. Have I said something wrong? Vex Troll's tentacles were writhing. Ambassador Hartwell, you are describing survival scenarios that would kill most intelligent species. You claim to do these things for enjoyment. Jack suddenly understood. What was normal for humans was terrifying to these aliens. On Earth, we have a saying, Jack said slowly. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Our harsh world has shaped us to be resilient. And violent, an insect-like alien added. Adaptive, Jack corrected. We've learned to overcome challenges, not just with physical strength, but with intelligence and cooperation. A small alien with green skin stepped forward. I am Dr. Norval of Xanth. I find humans fascinating. You evolved on a world that would kill most of us instantly, yet developed art, music, and science. How? Jack smiled at the first friendly face he'd seen. Perhaps because of our world, not despite it. Challenges force solutions. Dangers inspire safety measures. Competition drives innovation. The council session ended soon after. Jack had planned to talk about Earth's history, governments, and achievements. Instead, he had shocked the council just by describing a normal day outdoors. As Eliva led him back to his quarters, she said, that could have gone better. Jack shook his head. No, I think they needed to hear it. If they fear us just for where we live, they should know that Earth has made us strong, not savage. Jack spent the next few days exploring the parts of the station he was allowed to visit. Everywhere he went, aliens moved out of his way. Some watched him with fear, others with curiosity. It was like being the zoo animal. This isn't working, Jack told Eliva over breakfast. We need to change how they see humans. Eliva picked at her food, a strange blue paste. What do you suggest? A cultural exchange, Jack said. Back on Earth, when we meet new cultures, we share food, music, art. It builds understanding. Eliva's 6 eyes blinked rapidly. That is risky. But it might work. I can help arrange it. 3 days later, Jack stood in a large room that had been set up for the event. Tables displayed Earth foods, breads, fruits, cheeses, and a few cooked dishes. Screens showed videos of Earth landscapes, cities, and people. Speakers played soft music. Everything is safe, Jack assured the first nervous aliens to arrive. All the food has been tested for cross-species compatibility. Dr. Norval was one of the first to enter. The green-skinned scientist approached eagerly. Fascinating. Is this what humans eat? He asked, pointing at an apple. Yes, that's a fruit called an apple, Jack explained. It grows on trees. Norval picked it up carefully. And you just bite into it, even though it might contain toxins. Jack smiled. It's safe for humans. Our bodies can handle many things that might seem dangerous to others. More aliens arrived. Most stayed far from the food but watched the videos with interest. Some braver ones tried tiny samples of bread or fruit. Then disaster struck. A tall bird-like alien took a small bite of something and immediately made a horrible shrieking sound. What's happening? Jack asked, rushing over. Spicy, the alien gasped through the translator. Burning. Help. Medical staff rushed in. What did you give him? One demanded. Jack looked at the plate. Just a small cookie with, oh no, there was a little cinnamon in it. Cinnamon is like acid to the Avari. Eliva cried. The room erupted in panic. Other aliens who had tried Earth food were now worried they might be poisoned too. Some were already feeling sick. Please stay calm, Jack called out. Different foods affect different species in different ways, just like some Earth plants are poisonous to humans. This only made things worse. The idea that humans regularly sorted safe from poisonous foods by trial and error horrified the aliens even more. Jack tried to save the event. Let's move away from the food. I wanted to show you some Earth sports and games. He demonstrated a simple soccer kick with a ball he had brought. The aliens watched in shock at the force of his kick. This is a mild game for children, Jack explained, not making things better. When he showed videos of football, boxing, and even swimming competitions, the room grew quieter. One alien fainted when Jack explained that human children regularly fell down, got cuts and bruises, and simply healed. Your young practice being injured? A horrified parent-like alien asked. No, they play and sometimes get hurt, but it's part of learning, Jack tried to explain. By the time Jack showed artwork depicting Earth's natural wonders, mountains, storms, oceans, the room was nearly empty. Only Dr. Norval and a few others remained, fascinated despite their fear. I apologize for the disaster, Jack told Eliva as they cleaned up later. It wasn't your fault, she said, keeping her distance from the dangerous Earth food. But now you understand better. What is normal for humans is terrifying for us. Jack nodded slowly. I'm beginning to see that. Earth has shaped humans in ways I never realized. Not all reactions were negative, Eliva pointed out. Dr. Norval and a few others seemed genuinely interested in humans now. Jack smiled slightly. Maybe that's enough for a start. We don't need everyone to like us right away. Just a few who are willing to understand. As Jack returned to his quarters, he wondered if humans would ever truly fit into the galactic community. Their very biology made them frightening to others. Yet some aliens seemed to see beyond their fear. Perhaps there was hope after all. A week passed. Jack made small progress with some aliens, but most still avoided him. He spent time with Dr. Norval, answering endless questions about Earth. Eliva grew slightly less nervous around him. It was a start. Jack was in his quarters when the lights suddenly went out. A moment later, a loud alarm began to sound. Emergency. Life support failure in sectors 29 through 34. All personnel evacuate. Emergency crews respond. A calm voice announced over the speakers. Jack's training kicked in. He grabbed his emergency kit and stepped into the hallway. Red emergency lights cast an eerie glow. Aliens rushed past, many moving slowly in the unfamiliar low light. "Eliva," Jack said into his communicator. "What's happening?" Eliva's voice came through, panicky. "A major system failure. Power is down in 6 sectors. Life support is failing. Some areas have lost gravity or air." "Where are you?" Jack asked. "Sector 32, in the science wing with Dr. Norval. We're trapped. The emergency doors sealed automatically." Jack moved immediately. "I'm coming." "No, it's too dangerous," Eliva cried. "Station security will handle it." But Jack was already running toward Sector 32. Years of crisis response on Earth guided him. He passed aliens moving in the wrong direction, confused by the emergency. Some had frozen in fear. When he reached the sealed door to Sector 32, a group of station security officers were arguing. None wanted to enter the dangerous area. "What's the situation?" Jack asked. A robot-like alien turned to him. "Life support is failing. Oxygen levels are dropping. Temperature is rising. We're trying to override the door, but the systems are not responding." "How many people are trapped inside?" Jack asked. 42 researchers and staff," the alien replied. Jack looked at the door. "Can we cut through it?" "With what equipment?" the alien asked. "The tools are locked in Sector 34, which is also sealed." Jack thought quickly. On Earth, he had dealt with many emergencies: floods, fires, collapsed buildings. This was different, but the principles were the same. Assess, plan, act. "The ventilation system," he said suddenly. "Does it connect all sectors?" "Yes, but the shafts are very small," the security officer said. Jack looked up at the ceiling vent. It would be a tight fit, but he could make it. "I'm going in. Give me your communicator and any medical supplies you have." The aliens stared at him. "That is extremely dangerous," one said. "The atmosphere in there could kill you." "I'm from Earth," Jack said simply. "We're built to handle danger." Before they could stop him, Jack had pulled off the vent cover, hoisted himself up, and begun crawling through the narrow shaft. The metal was hot against his hands. The air grew thinner as he moved deeper into Sector 32. Jack found another vent and kicked it open, dropping down into a laboratory. The room was filling with smoke. Several aliens lay on the floor, struggling to breathe in the thin air. Others huddled near sealed doors. "Ambassador Hartwell," Dr. Norval called from across the room. "How did you get in here?" "Through the vents," Jack said, already moving to help an alien who wasn't moving. "We need to get everyone out the same way." "Impossible," Eliva said, her voice weak in the bad air. "Most species here cannot climb or crawl like you can." Jack looked around, thinking fast. "Then we need to restore power and life support." With Dr. Norval's help, Jack located the emergency systems panel. Years of military training helped him understand the alien technology. It wasn't so different from Earth systems, just more advanced. "The main power coupling is overheated," Norval explained. "The safety systems shut everything down." Jack nodded. "We need to bypass it and restart life support first. Oxygen, then temperature control." While aliens watched in amazement, Jack worked with his bare hands, moving hot components that would have burned other species. He ignored the thinning air that made others dizzy. His Earth-evolved lungs kept working. "This is why Deathworlders are remarkable," Dr. Norval whispered to the others. "They don't just survive hardship, they thrive in it." News of Jack's actions during the crisis spread quickly through the station. He had saved 42 lives by restoring life support systems with his bare hands, in conditions that would have killed most aliens. The story changed how some viewed humans. Jack sat in a meeting room with High Counselor Vextrol and several other important council members. They had requested this private meeting after the emergency. Ambassador Hartwell, Vextrol began, his tentacles moving slowly. Your actions were impressive. Many of us did not believe the reports until we saw the security recordings. Jack shrugged. I did what anyone from Earth would do in that situation. That is precisely what interests us, said a tall, thin alien with pale blue skin. Your casual approach to danger. Your ability to function in conditions that would kill most species. I'm beginning to see that what's normal for humans is extreme for others, Jack said. Indeed, Vextrol agreed, which brings us to a delicate matter. The hegemony representatives have expressed concerns about admitting Earth to the Council. The hegemony? Jack asked. Eliva, who sat beside him, explained quietly. A group of older, established worlds. Very traditional. Very powerful. They believe humans are too dangerous, too unpredictable to join the galactic community, Vextrol continued. They cite your physical capabilities and your planet's history as evidence. Jack frowned. That's not fair. Humans are peaceful. We want to learn and trade, not conquer. Perhaps, said another council member, but consider it from our perspective. Your species evolved on a planet that would kill most of us instantly. You can survive in almost any environment. You heal quickly from injuries that would be fatal to us. From certain viewpoints, humans are frightening. Jack thought for a moment. Then he smiled slowly. And that could be useful to the council, couldn't it? The aliens exchanged glances. I don't follow, Vextrol said cautiously. Every community needs different skills, Jack explained. On Earth, we have doctors, engineers, farmers, soldiers. Each does what they're best at. In the galaxy, maybe humans can do the things other species find too dangerous. You would volunteer for hazardous duties? Asked a small, reptilian alien. Why not? Jack said. We're naturally suited for it. Emergency response, exploration of dangerous planets, handling hazardous materials. Things that are risky for you might be routine for us. The council members began to talk excitedly among themselves. This is a clever approach, Eliva whispered to Jack. You're turning your Deathworld nature into an advantage. Jack nodded. If they fear us for being tough, let's show them how that toughness can help everyone. After the council members calmed down, Jack continued. I'd like to propose a formal alliance with representatives from other, challenging worlds. I've met the Saurian ambassador. Their planet is also classified as dangerous, though not as extreme as Earth. The Vespians as well, Vextrol suggested. Their homeworld has high radiation levels. Together, we could form a bloc within the council, Jack said. The Deathworld Alliance. Specialists in handling difficult situations. This is unusual, Vextrol admitted, but has potential. It might help address the hegemony's concerns. As the meeting ended, the reptilian ambassador approached Jack privately. I am Ambassador Traz of the Saurian Collective. Your idea interests us. Our species has also faced prejudice for our origins. Let's work together, Jack suggested. Show the council that being from a harsh world doesn't make us savages. It makes us survivors. Traz's scaly face formed what might have been a smile. The hegemony has dominated council policy for too long. They fear species like ours because we cannot be easily controlled. Jack nodded. On Earth, we have a saying. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Our worlds have made us strong. Now let's use that strength wisely. As Jack returned to his quarters, he felt more hopeful than he had since arriving. Yes, humans were different from most aliens. Their biology was shaped by Earth's harsh conditions, but that difference could be a strength, not just a source of fear. The challenge now was to convince the Council, and the powerful hegemony, that humans belonged among the stars not despite being Deathworlders, but because of it. 3 days after forming the Deathworld Alliance, Jack faced his biggest challenge yet, The hegemony had formally questioned Earth's right to join the Council. Their leader, High Counselor Krell, had called for a special session to discuss the human problem. Jack stood in the preparation room with his new allies. Ambassador Traz of the Saurians and Representative Zik of the Vespians had become his strongest supporters. The hegemony fears what they cannot control. Zik buzzed through his translator. The insect-like aliens' wings vibrated with annoyance. They have called you savages, but they are the true primitives, afraid of difference. We need to show them they're wrong, Jack said. But how? Traz's reptilian eyes narrowed. The hegemony respects only power. Show them yours. Jack shook his head. If I display human strength or aggression, it will only confirm their fears. Eliva, who had become increasingly supportive of Jack, spoke up. What about a demonstration? Not of violence, but of capability. Jack thought for a moment. Then he smiled. A challenge. Let representatives from different species attempt the same tasks that human children do routinely. Show them that what we consider safe, everyday activities require special skills for others. When they entered the council chamber, it was packed. The hegemony had gathered all their allies. High Counselor Krell, a tall being with gray skin and no visible mouth, stood ready to speak against Earth. Before you begin your accusations, Jack said, stepping to the center podium, I propose a challenge. A murmur ran through the crowd. What sort of challenge? Krell asked suspiciously. A series of tasks based on ordinary Earth activities, Jack explained. Nothing extreme. Simple things human children do every day. Representatives from various species, including myself, will attempt these tasks together. To what purpose? Krell demanded. To demonstrate that what the hegemony calls our savage nature is simply adaptation to our world, Jack said. And to show that every species has strengths and weaknesses shaped by their homeworld. The council debated briefly, then agreed. They were curious. The challenge would take place in the station's simulation dome, where environments could be safely recreated. 2 days later, Jack stood with volunteers from 12 different species. Dr. Norval had helped design 4 simple challenges: walking through a simulated Earth forest, crossing a shallow stream, identifying safe foods from a selection of Earth plants, and spending 1 hour in light Earth rain. These are activities that human children do without thinking, Jack told the audience watching from observation galleries and screens throughout the station. None are dangerous by human standards. The first challenge began. The simulated forest was mild. A pleasant woodland with dappled sunlight, birds singing, and a gentle breeze. Jack walked easily between the trees. Most aliens struggled. Some feared the uneven ground. Others were terrified by the insects or the rustling leaves. The stream crossing was worse. What came to Jack's knees was dangerously deep for smaller species. The water's current, gentle to him, knocked over 2 participants. The food identification challenge revealed that most aliens couldn't tell the difference between deadly nightshade and blueberries. What seemed obvious to Jack, color, smell, growth patterns, were meaningless to beings from worlds with different dangers. The rain challenge was the final blow to the hegemony's position. Standing in a light spring shower, Jack felt refreshed. Half the alien participants had to be removed when the water began causing them distress. Throughout the challenges, Jack was careful never to show off or embarrass the others. He helped when needed, encouraged their efforts, and praised their attempts. This is not about proving human superiority, he told the council afterward. It's about understanding difference. What is deadly to one species is home to another. What is easy for some is impossible for others. This is the strength of the council, bringing together diverse abilities and perspectives. Even Krell couldn't deny the evidence. The challenges had made Jack's point better than any speech. Humans weren't savages for surviving Earth. They were survivors who had adapted to conditions that would kill most other intelligent life. The final council vote was scheduled for the next day. Jack spent a restless night thinking about all that had happened since he left Earth. He had arrived as a curiosity, became feared as a monster, and now stood on the edge of acceptance. But would it be enough? When Jack entered the council chamber for the final time, he was surprised to see it packed with aliens. This time, instead of hiding from him, many nodded respectfully as he passed. High Counselor Vextrol called the session to order. Today we vote on Earth's membership in the Galactic Council. Before we begin, Ambassador Hartwell has requested to make a final address. Jack stepped to the podium and looked out at the hundreds of alien faces. Even the hegemony representatives were present, though they didn't look happy. "Thank you for allowing me to speak," Jack began. "When I first arrived, I didn't understand why Earth was called a death world. To me, it was simply home. Now I understand better. Earth is harsh by galactic standards. It shaped humans to be strong, resilient, and adaptable." Jack paused, looking around the chamber. But that's not the whole story of humanity. Yes, we survived dangers that would kill others. Yes, we evolved on a planet with predators, disasters, and extremes. But that's not what makes us human. He pressed a button, and images appeared on screens around the chamber. Children playing, artists painting, scientists working in labs, people helping each other after disasters. What makes us human is how we responded to our harsh world. We didn't just become stronger, we became kinder. We learned that survival depends on cooperation. We developed art because beauty matters even in dangerous places. We created music because harmony helps us through hard times. The chamber was silent, all eyes on Jack. Earth didn't make us savage, it taught us compassion. When your world can kill you at any moment, you learn to value life more, not less. You learn to help others survive. You learn that differences make a community stronger. Jack gestured to his allies from other challenging worlds. The same is true for all so-called Deathworlders. We're not dangerous because of where we come from. We're valuable because of it. We can handle situations others can't. We can go places others fear. We can protect those who need protection. Jack looked directly at the hegemony representatives. "I propose a new classification. Not Deathworlds, but Crucible Worlds, places where difficulty forges strength, where challenges create innovation, where hardship teaches cooperation." Murmurs of approval spread through the chamber. Earth wants to join the Galactic Council, not to dominate, but to contribute. Humans can help explore dangerous planets, handle emergency situations, and develop new solutions to difficult problems. That's what Earth taught us to do. Jack finished his speech to silence. Then, slowly, aliens began to stand. The applause started with Dr. Norvell, and spread until even some hegemony members joined in. The vote that followed was not unanimous, but it was decisive. Earth was accepted into the Galactic Council. As Jack prepared to return to Earth with the good news, he found Eliva waiting at his quarters. "You've changed things," she said. "Not just for Earth, but for all of us." Jack smiled. "I hope so. For the better." The Council has received 47 requests from various species to visit Earth, Eliva said. "They want to see this legendary Crucible world for themselves." "Are they serious?" Jack asked, surprised. "Very. They'll need human guides, of course, special protective equipment, careful planning. But they're eager to experience Earth safely." Jack laughed. "From feared monster to tourist attraction. That's progress, I suppose." As he packed his few belongings, Jack thought about how he would explain all this to the people of Earth. How would he tell them that their normal lives seemed like amazing survival stories to the rest of the galaxy? That swimming in the ocean was considered an extreme sport. That camping was seen as a death-defying adventure. Perhaps humans had always been extraordinary without realizing it. Perhaps Earth had given them gifts they had taken for granted. As his ship prepared to leave, Jack looked back at the massive council station. Humanity's place among the stars was secure now. Not despite being from Earth, but because of it. The Death World had made them strong. The Crucible World had made them human.